Hello, this is Indupriya. Yesterday we saw how to be a proper servant to God and how to satisfy God so that we'll attain mukti or liberation. And today we'll be seeing that there are three different gods, but they say that all the three are one. And what are the different meanings of it and why they say that there are three different gods, and even though they are three, they are just one in one form. And what is that form named as? That is what we are going to see today. So in Bhagavad Gita, they are saying that the God who is the supreme controller. So all these three together as one, who is the supreme controller, he is the one who is controlling all the living entities and the cosmic manifestation. That is the whole many universes are there, all those, and also our own Prakriti is also under that universe, right? And the time and karmas. There will be many of stories where we have heard God stops the time so that he wants to change something about it. So, in the same way, the time is also controlled by God, and karmas can also be controlled by God. That is why we can change our bad karmas into good ones by being the proper devotee of a God. That is the Supreme Godhead. And God is also known as the Absolute Truth. So he is not Maya, he is nothing that is going to be destroyed. He is permanent. So he is the only absolute truth. He is the only person who is the truth in our life. And that is what humans must realize. Not only humans, every single living on this planet or any other planet, if exists, they must realize that the main truth is God. It is also said here that Brahman is an impersonal Brahman who is also a subordinate from the Supreme God. This is called Brahmano hi Pratistaham. It is actually written in Brahma Samhita. And Brahman is someone who is like the rays of the sun. For example, this is sun and the rays which is coming all around the sun, that can be that light rays can be the Brahman. The reason they are saying this is because Brahman alone is also not the complete absolute truth. In the same way, when we say Paramatma, they say there is also a conception here. In this 15th chapter, God will be saying about impersonal Brahman and partial realization of Paramatma. That is also called as Sasidananda or Vigraha. Actually, to see what is Sasidananda, we'll first see that in Brahma Samhita, it is written that Ishvara Parama Krishna Sasidananda Vigraha or Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam, which means Govinda Krishna is actually the cause of the all causes. They say that he is the primal, that is the supreme Godhead, the mix of all the three words, right? So here they have given the meaning, actual meaning. So Sas, Sit, Ananda. These are three different words which means three different gods. Sat is actually the feature of Lord Brahma, which is eternal. That is, humans realizing that what is destructible, what is not destructible. For example, my body is destructible but my soul is indestructible. It can have many lives. In that way, realizing what is truth and what is not truth, what is forever permanent and what is not permanent, that is called impersonal Brahman. And Paramatma is Sasit, that is realizing what is the permanent truth and the knowledge about it, knowing about everything. That particular knowledge will seek from the permanent ones, that is from God. That knowledge is called Paramatma. And in the same way, Ananda is referred to Krishna, Lord Krishna. So this Ananda is something we understand all the supernatural power that is there in this cosmic world, cosmic universe. So all the supernatural power. So when all these three, the eternity, the permanency, and the knowledge about it, and all the superpowers that is all together mixed, these three, that is Lord Krishna, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. These three are totally together, they are in one form, and that form is called Vigraha. So In Bhagavad Gita, they don't want to say you that there is only one God. They want to say you that there are three different gods. And all these three different gods came from one God, and each one has different quality. This is something like when the world was firstly created, there were no living things. So to create living things, we needed a female because that is how you can give birth. So Lord Shiva, he splitted himself into half. Not exactly split, he took half of himself as one more, and that was Goddess Parvati. So Goddess Parvati was the reason the earth was formed to a lively thing. So in this way, Lord Vishnu was created for a reason, Lord Brahma was created for a reason. But they are the main God, so they have all the powers. Even though each one have a different role in their life, actually more than calling it a life, they don't have something called life, instead they are eternal. So each one had different work, but when you combine all of them, they are one and they have all the properties, right? That is their real form, and that real form's name is called Vigraha. That is what is said here. And in most of the Bhagavad Gita, there will be some words which says Krishna, Lord Krishna is the only God. Actually, do not offend the people who are believing in other gods too. I have explained in my Tamil channel, but here also I want to explain this. There will be a lot of things when we come. It will be written as Krishna, Lord Krishna is the only God. But not to offend anyone, this is also created by someone who was a very Krishna conscious person who was into Lord Krishna. In the same way, there are many bhakts who are mainly into Lord Shiva, who are mainly into Lord Brahma, and their sons like Ganapati and so on. So, in this case, the reason we are hearing different gods' name here, mainly the three main gods who are the result of everything that we have on the earth. That is because Lord Krishna said us about every single person, but there will be a lot of Krishna bhakts, right? So they have mentioned specially that my God is the only God. In that way, we should actually not be offended by the text that is here. Instead, you believe in whoever you are believing in. So while believing, they say that you have to believe in the Supreme God. You can believe in the Vigraha form in that way. So when you believe in the Supreme form, that is when you can reach them once you get mukti. That is what is there. And mukti is nothing but reaching them, reaching the Vigraha, reaching the God, Supreme God. So just to say you that if you are actually believing some other God, please do. Just because they have written here Krishna consciousness is the only truth, that does not mean your God is not true. And if somewhere I am reading Krishna is the only God, that's because the Krishna's devotees, the deepest devotees he had, they are the ones who has written Bhagavad Gita in this book. So because of that, obviously they are going to mention a lot about Lord Krishna. But at the same time, they spoke about what Lord Krishna has spoke. So he has spoke about Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Goddess Parvati, Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess Saraswati, like this. So which means in his words, he did not want to degrade anyone. So in his words, he agreed that we are all together. It's just that we humans, we are seeing them as a different God. Instead, they are all one. That is what we have to understand from here. And then people with less intelligence, they think that Supreme God is something that does not have a shape. And they say that the God who is the Vigraha is not having any shape, and he is having only the supernatural powers, that is the transcendental person. And it is actually confirmed in many Vedic literatures that Nityo Nityanam Setanas Setananam, which means that as we are all individuals and our individuality is of the Supreme Lord, so if we are having the shape and if we look like we are someone true in nature, it means God is also having a form. God is never a formless person. So he is having complete whole. The complete whole must have everything. So he must be of with our experience and more than our own experience. That is why he is called Supreme God, right? So if someone is misunderstanding God is formless, this is false. God is actually having a form and he is more than what we can imagine. We are not experienced to his level. That is what they want to say here. So this is enough for today, and if you guys like the way I'm explaining Bhagavad Gita, you can subscribe to my channel. Every day I'll be uploading a video, and if you guys are interested in reading Bhagavad Gita, knowing what and how we have to live in life, please do read Bhagavad Gita and suggest you to read. Thank you.